Wild side. It's a beautiful morning of sunshine after whole lots of rain. And it's warm weather for crying out loud. Well, not as warm as it was a few days ago. I didn't even have to have a fire at night a few days ago. And so I don't know. If it's not going to be cold and snowy for December, then I might as well have sunshine and spring weather. I think it's the second best thing. Oh, there's the dogs. They're out chewing on the elk carcass. I hope everybody's getting ready for Christmas. I'm excited about Christmas. I love it. Oh crap! Oh no! That sucks. I'm putting honey in my breakfast cereal, and the lid falls off. Good gosh, that's never happened before. So now it's gonna be super sweet. Hey, good morning, Jose. Hoser, glad you made it. I was just listening to a California song. But you're a Northern Californian, so you probably wouldn't like it. All right. I did not eat my breakfast, and I learned a long time ago that if I don't eat, it's not good. So I'm going to eat a little bit here. I like models too. Good morning. I'm going to assume you mean like car models and airplane models, and that you're not talking about Victoria's Secret models. And Dead Wolf Resistance, both wood stores going. Nice. I assume you must have cold enough weather that is warranted, because outside, if I sit still, I'm dressed fine. But if I'm in here in front of this fire, I'm pretty dang hot. So, cool. Jose's got his wood stove going. Nice. That's the benefits of being a Northern Californian. You don't have to be a Southern California oddball where it's eternal summer. I like Southern California in some ways. Oh, cool. Dioramas, World War II planes and tanks. Awesome. Yeah. My brother's been setting up trains for Christmas with little villages. So a little bit the same. That's awesome. He and I are talking about how we need to build a cabin dedicated for those. Gotta have something or blood sugar will get low. And that's not good. All right. I'm gonna make some tea also instead of coffee. Kind of getting bored with coffee. I mean, I like it. I wake up and I make it. But it's just not having that like pizzazz that I normally get from it. And so I'm gonna make some tea. And although I've done videos on it before, I continually like to promote the benefits of loose leaf black tea. Which I'm renaming to black leaf, because tea just sounds so effeminate, which is fine for gals, but it keeps a lot of guys from drinking tea. Not all, I mean, some don't care, but you don't think of tea as a cool drink, even though Pa Ingalls, the patron saint of Western settlement, said it was a man's drink. It's just kind of derived this image. All right. I think this is my Irish breakfast tea. That's the problem with using these cool canisters. You kind of forget what they are. Actually, this one might not be Irish breakfast. For the morning, you drink a breakfast tea. Then for the afternoon tea, drink my Chinese tea. Oh, that's chamomile. That one obviously easy to tell. Let's see what this one is. Don't want to spill it everywhere. These things make it extra airtight. So even though they're a hassle, it's worth it. That ain't it. Oh, that's too low. All right, we're gonna find it here. It's gotta be the last one. As it always is, the last one you check. Well, I think it's the same as the first one. I got 2 cans of it. All right, so that's what we'll do. Bam. Now, let's see here. This is normally my teapot, but I've got elderberries in there that I think my favorite thing to do with elderberries is keep them on the stove for the smell. When it fills the cabin with the aroma, it's just amazing. So that means I got to use my all-around pot, which has too much water in it. So I'm going to dump a little out. Otherwise, I'm going to end up wasting tea. Because I got to have the tea for here to fit into here. And I think I'm pretty darn close now. Because what happens is the tea leaves soak up a lot of that tea. Okay. I want to show people how you make loose leaf tea, because a lot of people stay away from it because it's just too much to take on. And so I want to show you how to do that. And I'll do that right after we get some comments here. I tried messing with trains, but I didn't fit into my groove. Yeah, hey, that's the beauty of everybody having personal preferences. We get a wider range of hobbies going on. My brother and I, my dad was big into trains. Because when he was little, he grew up during the Depression. And as a little kid, he used to be able to hitch a ride on a train, the logging train. Just as a kid, all by himself. He'd just go out, catch a ride. The train would stop, pick him up, and drop him off at the lake that he'd go up, or the river. I don't remember which one he went to fish. My dad had one of those movie-like childhoods. He'd go up there alone. He'd go with friends. Anyway, my dad was big into trains, so that's what me and my brother are into. But have I heard of Stetson Folklore Hat? I think it's based on Bias of the Plains. No. I mostly stay away from new Stetson stuff. They're using their name to sell crap. But I don't know what the folklore hat is, so I'm just being pessimistic. If you Google details, I'd be interested in hearing, because no, I have not heard of it. But they don't seem to use like beaver felt, and they don't seem... I don't know. When I shopped for a hat, I couldn't find a decent hat from them. Like when I had money to buy a nice hat. So I just go with used hats anymore, pretty much. Craig Curtis says, I watched a bunch of Brushy Bill stuff. He has the bullet holes and the knowledge facial recognition. More things say he is Billy the Kid than not. Yeah, I don't like it when people brush off Brushy Bill. I mean, I don't personally, from what I've heard, I don't think there's enough proof. Like there's some other things that that make it really fishy. And from reading the accounts of Billy the Kid dying, it's not as fishy as I had heard. Like some people say it was like dangerous for Pat Garrett to be there. Like that was one of the theories that I held on to, but it wasn't. I mean, Pat Garrett didn't have, like the belief is like, well, Pat was around Billy's friends and he had just killed Billy, so he had to run as soon as he killed Billy and he didn't have time to check him out. Well, that's not true. I mean, he was at Pete Maxwell's house, and he was fine. And he had a few men with him. There was no fight. I don't believe from the accounts I read, he never ran off. It could be fabricated. It's possible. And the thing about Brushy Bill that can't be denied is that he knew a lot of information. And so even if he wasn't Billy, I'm not saying he wasn't. If he wasn't, he's still a very fascinating character. And I'm looking forward to Young Guns 3, which is going to be Brushy Bill, which I'm fine with because, I mean, how else are you going to make a Young Guns 3 with the same cast? My father smelled of elderberries. Good one, Jose. Message on the swallow. Idaho Artifacts. Hey, welcome back. Hey, and I found my artifact. It was buried. I was trying to find it last week. This is the one that I found in the creek over at the other property. It's the end. It's the end of a. I think this is the mortar. The mortar end. Like they were really long. Apparently, somebody sent me pictures of full ones. Hey, Daryl. Good morning. I forgot to say good morning when you said hi. How many berries you harvested this year? None, sadly. I'm still waiting for evidence. I think I have evidence of a bear being here one time, one spring. I mean, one sign of bear is all I've run across. That does, I'm not saying there was only one bear, but I've only run across one sign of bear, and it was spring a few years ago. I use a Resistol 4X hat with an ear flap attachment. Oh, interesting. I bought that hat in '87. I love Resistol. The fit is good. The self-conforming felt is nice. It's not too heavy. What do I know of the Battle of the Alamo? Not a whole lot. Just that you have to take your hat off and put your hand over your heart and have a moment of silence when anyone mentions it when you're in Texas. Yo, K-Dog. Yeah, the bear would have made an excellent rug. In fact, I've got just enough room for a black bear rug right here on my floor. That would be pretty dang cool. All right, we caught up on comments. Let's go back to the tea. So, I want to educate y'all. And what we got here, so this is my method of tea. And I've never given this tea to somebody that they weren't happy to have it, that they didn't like it. So if you're not into loose leaf tea, if you're not into black tea, I call it black tea, but I'm going to put creamer in it. Make it this way and you'll be impressed. This is how I made it to get into tea because I wanted to like tea, but I didn't. And so I started making it this way, kind of by a fluke. I was at a party, some gals had a get together. They were all classy, hoity-toity, and they had tea. And I was like, So I went through their fridge and found some heavy whipping cream. That was the only creamer they had. They were drinking it black, for crying out loud. And they had some creamer, heavy whipping cream. I said, well, you can use that. All right. So I put it in, and it was amazing. And that's all she wrote. Ever since then, I've been using heavy whipping cream. So I'm not going to spoon it in because normally I would put it in the pot beforehand, before I pour the water in. But because I'm using my pot for elderberries, I have to use the pot with water already in it. So the problem is I steep quickly. I don't let it steep long because I don't know why, but I can't. It creates a bad taste. So I just roughly 2 tablespoons per cup. I've got about 4 cups in there. And then it's like coffee. You want to make it stronger than weak. Because if you make it too weak, you'll regret it. Then I'm already steeping it longer than I want to. Then I use one of these bad boys for a strainer. It's way cheaper than the crap they try to sell you. And when you pour it, you look. If it's a golden amber, then it's just right. If it's dark, it's not like coffee where you want it dark and that's cool and tastes good. If this gets dark, it's not good if black tea gets dark. So that's why I gotta steep it so quick, because I make it strong so it doesn't take long at all. It doesn't take long at all for it to over steep and then not be good. All right, getting the last little strains out. measured it pretty close. I got about 3/4 of an inch there of room, or I could have had more. And then I put it up there to dry the tea leaves out because I reuse them. And that's all it takes. You follow my method, and the tea is pretty quick and easy to make. Now where's the lid? I should have a lid around here somewhere. That's it. Now, to actually make it drinkable, I mean, you can drink it black if you like it. Some people do. I just don't. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect color of amber. All right. Now, if you want to, I use fructose instead of sugar. I don't always use it. You don't need it because when you use heavy whipping cream, but I'm just going to put about half a teaspoon in. And then keep a designated spoon. You can't use your coffee spoon because that'll alter the flavor. And that's part of the fun, is getting a cool spoon. This is some kind of antique spoon. And this is my tea mug. That's also part of the fun. Having a mug you like. You all know that from coffee. All right, now that's how you make a drinkable cup of tea. And now I might actually have 5 more because I use a small cup. So I might have 5 cups in there. Gosh darn it, I hate picking up a tripod. All right, let's go outside where we can actually cool off and have some tea. All right, it's beautiful and quiet out here. It's so pleasant, aside from when the coyotes come around. All right, back to comments. Oh, cool. Idaho Artifacts. That's a nice piece. I found my first pesto earlier this year. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, I'm thrilled to find it. Also, it's cool because I can actually use it. Like whether I'm, forgot what I used it. Oh, for pounding dry meat to make it edible. Or I want to roast some coffee pretty soon. Actually, maybe I will when I'm done with this bag that I got open, and use it for that. Oh, Jose, you were in Texas? I didn't even know that. Ah. Good tea. That was my first drink. Got to see the Alamo when I was a kid. I went in 2017 on my first trip to Texas. As long as you're capitalizing black tea. Yes, indeed. Cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas. Fantastic instruction. Thank you. I imagine you have guns. If so, what ones do you have? Yes, I got lots of guns. I only keep a couple out here so that I can take them to town with me and don't have to leave them behind. But my favorite guns, I can't show them even if I had them, but I carry a Glock, and but my favorite gun's probably my 30-30. I've got an 1894, and then I got a replica 1873 Colt. It's a replica, kind of a cheaper model, but pretty good replica. Yep. And I gotta set up a range, so I can go right up here and shoot out there. Just below this thing is a flat area that I want to set up a target, because it's about, if I remember right, it's 400 or 500 yards. And then I can set up another one. I don't want to go too far that way. I want to keep it low because there's a dirt road up there. I might actually go the other direction and have some long range. I barely shoot because I got dogs that hate the noise, and the horses, I don't know if they mind too much. I don't like the noise either. I just got some noise canceling earmuffs. All right. Well, those of you who are joining us later, you'll have to go back and check out the black tea, loose leaf tea instruction. I just did it. It's over and done with. Are you sure about that dead wolf resistance? Because I had a video taken down. I thought I just showed the gun, but maybe I did pick it up. Maybe I did handle it, and that's what happened. I don't know. I've just avoided it ever since. This stupid YouTube and their rules. The sunshine's great because when it's cloudy out, it's hard to keep the batteries charged. Yesterday we had some sunshine. I went all day, forgot to plug the panels back in because I got to go unplug them, change the wires to a different battery, and then plug them back in. And got distracted, forgot to plug it in, so ended up with a dead battery. But it's supposed to have a protection that it doesn't drain to where it ruins it. So I don't know. I might have ruined a battery. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Dead Wolf Resistance. That's good to know. I have it in the background, but I don't have any to hang. I don't have. Couldn't really do that now. Daryl, do I have any sponsors? No, I don't really want them. I try to watch other YouTube channels, and my goodness, it's annoying. It's annoying, all the... I mean, the beauty of the internet, and originally the beauty of Netflix, the original beauty of YouTube, was we got away from TV that had 2.5 minutes of commercials every 5 minutes. And now YouTubers are right back to that. It's all a bunch of greed. And I stay away from that. I monetize these videos after they air, because I don't know what they would do if I monetized it before it airs. And then I do the minimal amount of ads, because all they give me the option to do is to unclick mid-roll ads. So I unclick that so that there's no ads during the video. It's just at the beginning, probably at the end. I don't know. It's whatever YouTube does. And if I get back to making my channel really active, the only way that I would do ads is at the end. If I wanted to promote an item, it would be an item that I really care about, that I actually like and think people would like. And again, I would put it at the very end so that everybody knows, okay, I'm going into an ad. I just despise it when these guys are talking, and then, who is it? There's one guy, he talks, and then he talks at the beginning of the ad. It sounds like the podcast is still going, but and then you find out it's an ad. I just hate that deceptiveness. All these slimy YouTubers making money off of ads. Because look, I live like this. I live cheap, and I give up a whole lot of stuff. Not give up. It feels, at some point, it feels like giving up, but I shook the shackles that bind me, as Johnny Cash would say. And so why do I want to support somebody else making a ton of money, living in a expensive house they don't need? So anyway, sorry. All right, that's my rant. So it's just, when you get out and you live a peaceful life, like I always say, you learn the priorities of life is not using people for your own gain. And like, I want to create a channel if I get back to making videos, and I hope that my live videos are improving, and I want it to be for people's enrichment, not my enrichment. And there is a mutual enrichment when you do something you're good at and share it with others. That's what life is about. As soon as you add a bunch of slimy ads to it, then all of a sudden and a lot of those YouTubers are so phony. Just like, I've been really tired of YouTubers lately. It's hard to find good ones. Hey, thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. Cheers. Dead Wolf Resistance says, I've actually shot in my life. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I didn't mean to downplay your credibility there earlier. Just be off screen. You can actually show the targets. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Cool. Well, just being able to show them in the background would be cool. Oh, I guess I couldn't wear one on my hip, though, could I? I should bring my shotgun out here. Out at the other property, I hang on to my shotgun because I've got neighbors around and I don't want a rifle round that could reach my neighbor's house. The shotgun slug doesn't go that far. And so out at the other property, I use my shotgun. And it looks great up on the wall. I love a double-barreled shotgun. So classic. I like modern guns too. I also found my 1911. I had lost it. And I recently purchased, I'm working on a modern camping kit that you guys have seen in before. I've talked about it, but I'm working on a bug out bag type kit. And I want to do a video with that where I actually carry my rifle, carry my magazines, and I'm going to get this titanium pot so that it's really lightweight. And my goal is to have like a 7-day bug out bag and do a camp video with that. And I might do that fairly soon because I can take the dogs on that one. We'll just walk a mile, just go up to the camp spot where I've been before, just to try out the gear and show it. So that's one of the many goals I'm working on. What I'm working on mainly now is remodeling these properties. So I've got that. I want to finish remodeling this one, and I forget why. I'm actually going to move it so that I can put my horse trailer right next to it and use my horse trailer as a scaffold for putting the roof on. And then I want to replace the OSB. I'm thinking I'll pull off the OSB and replace it with T111 so that it actually looks nice and it won't have to be twice as heavy if I were to put siding on top of the OSB. So that's kind of the goal there. I'm going to add some more insulation, but it's pretty well insulated up top. And then this cabin over here, I want to remodel and make it nice. And then that's kind of my focus right now. That's more of my priority, as well as working on my film. Oh yeah, that's Maddie there. Hey, Maddie girl. I got the horses up top in the other pen. It's so muddy. I like keeping them down here at night, is what I've been doing, so they're near me, so that if something were to come and chase them, I can hear it. But it's so dang muddy. I didn't like their feet being in the mud constantly, so it's more dry up at the other property. And the coyotes have been coming around a lot, which is funny, because and primarily because of this. I got this thing that smells, is my guess, but they come in real close when I'm here with the dogs, and I can tell they're trying to entice the dogs out to them. But then last night I was gone and I came back in the dark, and I couldn't help but think, with me and the dogs gone, that they're gonna probably be right here around the cabin, but I see no signs that they were around here. They weren't chewing on that thing or anything. So I don't know. Maybe they're just out for the dogs. I don't know. It's so strange. Any one of these, a shop vac for blow-in insulation? It's my my hopes. I've got enough. If it's sunny out and I got a fully charged battery, I could probably run that thing and make a lot shorter work of my blow-in insulation. Because otherwise, it's a lot of work using the insulation, because you got to fluff it up with your hands. You got to break it up into small little bits and then throw it in. So it'd be nice, but small problem to have, very small problem. My brother went up and got a Christmas tree in the mountains, a little one, but it's nice. I don't have any more Christmas lights, but maybe I'll come up with something to. Oh, I've got Christmas lights on this bush. Oh, wait, let's see. Yeah, it's hard to point in the video. Yeah, there, that sagebrush. Maybe I'll take that off and put it on the tree, and then put the tree. Oh yeah. Hey, in fact, I could probably. Oh no, I got to put water in it. Anyway, put it right there. Oh, look how nice that tree looks there in the. Oh, there we go. Let's see. There in the sunshine. Oh, look at that nice little glow I've got around my shoulders. I'm learning about filmmaking, so this lighting stuff is important. All right, let's see. Let's walk over here. You see the temporary horse pen I got set up here is all turned to mud. There is a kind of a dry grass hay that they won't eat. That helps. Up there on that mound, it's kind of dry. But had a bunch of weeds in here. But now this horse manure and grass hay that they don't like, and the existing dirt is going to make some great gardening stuff. Down here I have a flat area that just beyond these sagebrush, and thinking about making that a garden area. But the problem is around here I'd have to put up a really strong fence to keep the deer out. Otherwise I'm just feeding the deer. So I don't know. I'd rather have goats and rabbits running around. And let's see. The other thing that I want to prioritize is setting up an outdoor shower. So here's my wellhead, and I want to set up an outdoor shower here. That's a 55-gallon drum, which would probably be big enough, but I'm thinking about making a bigger tank so that if I have multiple people here, they can take a shower after another, one shower after another, and not run out of water, and take a hot shower as long as you want. Because I'm going to set it up where I got a view. And I've done that before in South Africa. We had a really hot outdoor shower with lots of pressure, and the tarp was low enough that I could see over it, and that was just so nice. Just take a long hot shower outside where it's cold. Where I was at in Africa, it was cold. And so anyway, I've been wanting to replicate that ever since then. So that's what I'm working on around here. I did end up bringing more blocks so I can have an outdoor cooking area. Because sometimes it just takes that to get the dang pot boiling. I've shared about that before, where my wood stove is kind of hard to cook on. Kind of hard to cook on. And let's see, this is what I've done with my shelves. So before, I had the ceiling on the bottom of these, which was really nice because for heating, it's just barely taller than I am, and it made it really efficient to heat. But because it was so efficient to heat, I figured I can make more space, make it feel more open, elevated it, and then This plywood is a temporary shelf to try it out, but that's where I keep my pans. Frees up a ton of space. And then these shelves are totally adequate for my needs. And then this cabinet, the only reason I've got this big cabinet is because I was keeping my clothing under the bed. That was just so inconvenient. And so now I've got my clothing in the 2 drawers, and this one is all I need for food. So, because for simple living, for minimal living, what I always say is you store everything that the weather cannot hurt outside of the heated area. So why do I need to heat my bulk food that's just stocked up? Or why do I need to heat all the clothing that I'm not wearing on a daily basis? Stuff like that. Or so all I keep in here is the stuff that I use regularly or need to heat. And so it makes for a 8x14 tiny cabin, extremely comfortable. This is the cabin that I had before, and it was totally fine, suited my needs just fine as far as food. But because of that clothing need, that's why I went. That's why I went with another cabinet. So anyway, that's simple living. And I'm gonna have another cup of tea, and then I might just bring this video to an end because I don't have a lot to talk about, and I'm losing people. According to my view count, people are going away. So maybe the tea was the good part. The tea was the hot part of the video, and anyway. Finally got my dental work done. Learned a lot about how dental work is a scam in this country. And if anybody has... There's this lady, a dentist on YouTube. She's incredible. She talks all about how our teeth work. She talks about how our teeth work and the proper care, and why xylitol is really important, and how you can restore a lot of your teeth issues without having to have the dental work done that they say you need done. I don't believe she's a hack. I think she's pretty legit from what I'm seeing. Daryl asks, is there another show on Sunday? Good question. I've been thinking about doing something over on the Creekside channel on Sunday mornings. So yeah, I might do a video tomorrow. I've been thinking about that each week. That would be the Over on the Creekside channel, which is primarily more for deeper thoughts. Where this channel, Old West history, simple living, and camping. Daryl, the Bay and the Gray. I've got them up in the upper pen because it's been so wet. This pen here, this is their night pen, and it's just so wet and muddy. I put them up there where they can have dry feet longer. It's more rocky up there, so less mud. My mare has a problem with her leg. I'm sure of it. 2 days in a row, I went and picked up her leg to test it and make sure she wasn't just, being feisty or something, pulling her leg from me. But when I hold it in a certain area, when I tap on the sole, she pulls it away. And so I'm pretty sure she's got a leg problem, which really sucks, selfishly, because I want to be riding her every day. And leg problems, most of them are just plain serious. Like a lot of horse problems with their legs, you can't overcome. They just have it for the rest of their life. And so, I mean, best case scenario, it's a mild issue and she comes around. Another scenario, because I pack really light, she could be a pack horse, and I just keep lightweight on her, assuming that her leg would be okay for that. I mean, I'm just saying that sometimes that's how it goes, that horses are okay. Like, then they get sold as kids' horses sometimes, where, like, you know, below 100 pounds or below 80 pounds um, is okay for them. So we'll see. Or if and actually, if I can't get her to riding again, then I'm gonna check with my friend and see if I can breed her to his Mustang. So that's a plus because he's got this really cool stallion. I hope he hasn't had it gelded yet. I don't think he has. It's a blue roan stallion Mustang, and it's thrown some really good colts. That my main issue with a horse is that it's got a good mind about it, and that's what he's come up with, some good colts that he's turned into riding horses. So she's thrown a good filly, excellent horse, incredible, and so I know that she has put out a great horse once, and so if I put her with this stallion, I might get a really good horse. So it's not a total loss as far as usefulness, and she won't, you know, because otherwise she'd just become a pasture pet where I just feed her and take care of her. So yeah, so I'm kind of shopping around for a horse. Problem is, horses are really expensive. If you get a dead broke one that's like 6 years old, easily 9, 10,000 bucks, if not more. So I have to shop down in the other category where they've got some kind of a problem, whether it's just that they don't have a lot of experience riding. But as long as they got a good mind about them, I'm not worried about it because that's the same thing she was. She, you know, I had my friend broke her, got her rideable, and she was a green horse and had some obstacles to hurdle with her. But because she has a good mind, it wasn't a major problem. So I can shop down in the $3,000, $4,000 price range, but it makes me nervous because if they hurt their leg again, then I'm out. I've never had a horse with a hurt leg, so this is kind of rocking my world. Yeah, you can park in the lower area. It's fine. We've had a few days of dryness, so it's actually the um the mud is actually kind of dry, but um like that parking area, I'm pretty sure you'd be just fine out there. Um, and I've been able to drive in and out. So yeah, I think you're fine, Caleb. Trade motorcycle for horse. I actually started shopping for some KL, or the KLRs. KLRs. I'd like a 250, but the 650s are way more common, and they're extremely cheap. It's surprising. There's a guy with one for 2,000 bucks, a 2009, and it's got 20,000 miles on it. It's just so tempting to throw 2,000 bucks at a dual sport that all of a sudden now I can hit the trail whenever I want. As I was out hiking with the dogs and off about, I don't know how far, a mile, 2 miles away, I saw a side by side. I had my binoculars with me, so I was able to check. And it just frustrates the heck out of me that I can't do that because that's what I want to be doing. Yeah, you're welcome to cut through anytime. And um, and so when I got back, I was shopping for because dirt bikes you can get really cheap. Well, KLRs you can get really cheap, and the great thing about them is you can take them cross country too. So I don't know. It's just really tempting to just buy a vehicle to go off roading on since I have so much trouble with horses. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be around. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. I know from this life that my life is guided spiritually, and I've learned to I don't know. It's funny. Some people have a spiritual belief of, well, you have to make it happen. And that's probably true for a lot of people. But me, I'm the kind of idiot that does too much of, oh, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, and I do too many things. And so for my spiritual path, I've had to learn, whoa, just slow down and don't do anything. And then when you make the right step, it'll be the right one. So I think it's important to realize that my way isn't necessarily the way for everybody. Because, it's also there's also the farmer mentality. You don't give up when you start something. And that's admirable too, but that's great for like a rural lifestyle where you have to push through hard times. My lifestyle is actually easy. So I don't feel like that philosophy carries over to even in modern society. But I think it's fantastic for the rural lifestyle. But because you guys have seen me start things and stop because anyway, I don't know if that's so that's where I'm at. With the horses, I don't know if I should be keeping at it. I buy another horse, is that going to solve my problems? I don't know. Or is it going to add to it? Or have I had so many problems with horses and getting out on cross country trips that I need to bag it? That it's like a pursuit that is keeping me from my main pursuit. My main pursuit right now is making this film. That's the most important thing to me. So, anyway, I said earlier this isn't about spiritual stuff, and here I go. Dead Wolf Resistance, you got your 650 KLR. Where are you? Aren't you across the country from me? Let's drink when it's cold out. Yeah, I don't know. Because ideally, I went and checked out a Cherokee. Really cool. 74 Jeep Cherokee. Oh, sorry, Dead Wolf Resistance. I keep forgetting that that's you. The name throws me off. It's a long way to go to pick up a bike. I'd rather have one, and then you and I go out and tour the Black Hills. But anyway, yeah, yesterday I went and checked out a 74 Cherokee, which is one of my favorite vehicles. Actually, a Wagoneer, but the Cherokees even look cooler because they're two-door. The four-door is just more practical because I want to be able to sleep in it. And it was on 37s, and it had a 350 with a low-end range. He put a stick in it. So it was a really cool truck in a lot of ways, but he fabricated the heck out of everything on it. And it's a locked rear axle. And I think if I had a truck like that, a rig, I'd rather be able to drive on the highway so I can go cross country, hit the highway. So the other thing would be a CJ5, but they're kind of pricey. I feel like I got to get up to $5,000 to buy one of those. But then I could take my dogs. That's my point. Versus a dirt bike, where if I have a vehicle where I can take my dogs, then I can go overnight. And I'll probably just use my truck. I want to take the bed off, make it a little lighter, and just use my truck and camp on the back of it. But I still might get a KLR. My dogs are getting old, then I'm going to go on all kinds of trips. Anyway, that's what's going on. I hope that doesn't bore everybody. My vehicle problems. Not vehicle problems, my getting out and adventuring problems. But I can always walk and hike, and hiking feels really good. In fact, now that I'm talking about that, I just might do that after this video. Probably me and the dogs will take off up the draw and enjoy the sunshine. I did that. I like to do that when the sun's out. And I went hiking yesterday because, so as you guys know, out here, I used to let all 8 of my horses run wild. No halters on them. They were just running wild. And when I needed them, I'd go out with some grain, catch Bo, my gelding, the lead. He was the lead horse of all 8. I'd put the halter on him and trail him back, and they'd all be behind me. I've put that in videos. It was so easy. It was so wonderful leaving them loose. So with my 2 horses, I haven't done that with them. Instead, what I do, I leave a halter with a long rope, and I let one out, and one has to stay behind. The one staying behind hates that because they hate being left behind. But with that long halter, they step on it. They can't avoid stepping on it. They can a little bit, but then eventually they'll hit it. And it keeps them from running off or just wandering for the most part. So then, I think it was yesterday, I got to thinking in the morning, you know what? I think we've been here long enough and my horses are calmed down enough. I could put a halter on both of them and just let them out to graze. And then I don't have to buy food. Because if it's going to be warm weather like this, the grass is growing. No reason to be buying hay. So I did it. I let them out. Came inside, read, did whatever. And then in my mind, my back of my mind, I kept thinking, oh, I should probably go check on the horses and see if they did just wander off. So I went where they always go. Didn't see them. I went a little further. Didn't see them. I went much farther. Not much farther. I went farther and saw them right at the gate. There's a gate over there that enters into public land, and nobody closes it. Nobody, you wouldn't expect them to. The gate's there for the cattle season when they bring cattle out. So they're eyeballing that gate, grazing, meandering, and I hustled up. I started running to catch up to them. Well, they walked through that gate, started walking up the road, and I'm running, getting some good exercise. And then I got close to them. They started to run. Of course, the ropes weren't working for some reason, but then it did work. So anyway, it wasn't that hard to catch them. I went up. If you come up behind a horse, they'll almost always hurry, even if they know you. Unless you're in a pen, then it's sometimes different. So anyway, I walked up around them, got up to the side so that they weren't, I could stop them. Walked down, grabbed their ropes, walked back here. Lesson learned that no, they're not going to stick around if I let them out, which sucks. Going from letting 8 horses run loose, but it also goes to show just how much they followed Bo. That it really was Bo who was making the decisions and was keeping them all around here. So, so that sucks. I'd rather be able to just let them loose, and even if I had to walk a mile to get them, you know, I wouldn't care. Give me some exercise and give me free food. But when they're heading that way, like, what in the world is going through your mind? Like, where are you going? And it's the gray. It's Comanche Moon who's doing it. I watched them when they walked. That's what kind of made me nervous. Like, Namnamkin, she'll just wander around, but it's that stinking Comanche Moon. She's like, come on, we got to get out of here. Which is so weird because she likes me. I don't know what's going on in her mind. They're probably looking for stallions. They're like, we gotta go find us a man. Anyway, I put her with a man, for crying out loud. I put Comanche Moon with that stallion I was talking about, and she didn't take. I'd be able to see her stomach protruding by now if she was pregnant, and it didn't take. So that sucks. So anyway, that's what's going on around here. Over on the wild side, trying to be wild, Trying to have wild horses, got to pin them up. Hey, good girl. This is my view. I got some crap laying around, but I also got Maddie laying around. My big brush pile for a bonfire and my beautiful view. I just love it out here. People don't live like this when they have the option. But I lived most of my life the wrong way. Had to actually jump out and do this to really figure out that, oh man, I should have done it years ago. So anyway, all right, folks, I think I'm going to cut this off. It's been a nice morning, good chatting. Thanks for the comments, everybody. And if you want to order some tea, it's called Davidson's on, it's the best I've found. Organic Davidson's tea on Amazon. And it's like $1.50 an ounce, if I remember right. It's cheap and good quality. Yeah, you too, Jose. See you on Messenger. All right, everybody. Been a good time. We're going to go hiking. Adios, hobo. Back at you. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Christmas is coming. Be festive. And remember, life's a lot more fun over on the wild side.